To set the stage, it had been 70 degrees and sunny all week. Come weekend, severe storms forecasted for Saturday afternoon beginning around 1 o'clock. So we grabbed up as much stuff as we could grab in a hurry and headed out to the trail that was closest to the house. And this really isn't a trail. It's more like an access. It's about the only way in and out to a bunch of gold claims that reside along this creek bed. And it became apparent in a hurry just how much of a hurry we were in that morning.
Damn! My love, we don't have a gas cap. It'll be there when we get back. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Jeep Psychology 101 on a Saturday.
Yes, our gas cap was on the pump at the gas station. Action cam and drone were on the arm of the couch. But at least Rhea was finding agates that aren't even supposed to be in this area.
And I found a South Dakota agate. Yes, I had to break it like a little monkey. It's not pretty, but I got cool. Hold my rock, baby.
And as usual, we spent a considerable amount of time picking up other people's trash. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Come on, people. Pick up after yourselves. That's the kind of stuff that helps get trails closed down. Pick up your trash.
Well, I mean, it's pretty flat, like my chest.
Yes, Rhea and I had the cabin fever really bad, but we weren't the only ones. Unbeknownst to us, while we were out filming this video, our neighbor across the street was getting his boat out of storage for the year. But more on that later. With the excessive amount of rain that we had last season, you'll find a lot of trees around the Black Hills that the soil just wasn't strong enough to hold up the root structure, and the trees just decided to lay down. And that's what we've got here. We've got a tree that's not completely dead, but it just fell over. And we decided to go around.
Okay.
And I honestly believe that a lot of that excessive moisture was because of my neighbor and his boat. You see, the story is, every time he gets that boat out, it rains. And it doesn't just rain. We get 4 inches or more of rain every time he gets that boat out. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a great guy. And I really enjoy having him as a neighbor. But every time he gets the boat out, it rains. And every time it rains, trails get shut down. At least temporarily for surface damage control. Which incidentally is probably not as bad as the damage done by side-by-sides. See, here in the Black Hills, side-by-side riders tend to think they're qualifying. They charge hard into corners, slam on the brakes, slide them around the corners, and then power out of the corner, leaving big berms.
It's okay. It's alive.
And then the powers that be decide it's the Jeeps that's the problem. So then they put in width restriction gates that chokes it down to where only the side-by-sides can go through, and the Jeeps are kept out. Doesn't make any sense to me. But at least at this point the weather was holding out. We had partial sunshine, but it was still overcast and we knew the storm was coming. We could see it on radar. So we kept on heading up the creek. I had seen some of it, which I had gone to the far end and walked back, and Rhea had seen some of it that we had walked from the other end, which we're not going to disclose the location. But we weren't sure what was in the middle. And either way, we knew it was something we wanted to check out to see if anything looked really juicy as far as gold. Because if it wasn't under claim, who knows? We might want to put it under claim. But we need to know what's there. And what better way than to follow the creek and look for that elusive black sand and see if we see any on the surface and go from there. If it's not under claim, do a little test panning and see if there's anything that we can do. But panning right now is kind of hard because, as you can see, there is absolutely no water. Now this tree had the good decency to fall from up above. Yeah, its roots came completely out and it fell from the bank up above. Left a squeeze just tight enough to get through.
Okay.
Newer Jeep with wider axles might or might not make it through without having to do some really sketchy stuff, but I think it's passable. Now, you just never know when Rhea's inner savage is going to kick in, and she's going to take off wandering through the brush, stalking the Jeep like it was a deer or something. Now, you have to remember, Rhea was raised in the wilds of Montana by her grandparents, so she was brought up in the old Cheyenne way. She got regular ear beatings from her grandmother whenever she'd stay too long out in the woods having fun. And her grandfather taught her the ways of tracking and moving stealthy through the brush so as to not make any noise and spook the deer. But reality calls more people's trash. Now, have you ever felt like you were being hunted? Like something was watching you from a distance? You know that feeling that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up? Well, you'll get that feeling if you travel with Miss Rhea. Because when she jumps out of the Jeep and starts tracking the Jeep, it's like she's hunting prey.
And this is, ladies and gentlemen, how you go out and find your own Jeep.
Now, if you've been paying attention to the skies during this video, you'll notice that we've gone from partly sunny to mostly gloomy. In fact, it's getting downright overcast. And we know that there's a storm coming in because we've been tracking it on radar. And right about now, we started picking up a metallic ting, ting, ting. And periodically we'd stop and check it out and say, what is that? And we'd look it over for broken bolts or broken sway bar links. Nothing. And we'd go a little farther and it'd happen again. Ting, ting, ting. But more about that later. Now, I realize that flat light and camera angles make this trail look about as rough as a finished piece of plywood. But pay attention to how many times we've got one tire or the other stuffed in the front fender. There's nothing smooth about this thing. And the average size of the rocks we're going over is 15 inches or bigger. Not to mention the fact that the temperature's probably dropped 20 degrees since we started the trail. And yes, we're in a spot where we do have signal and we're periodically looking. And that storm cell is pure red and angry coming our way. And at this point we are starting to get some drops of rain, so we're kind of getting a little bit less choosy about our lines and just trying to get to the exit and get out before something bad happens.
Straighten out a little bit. Turn your wheel this way. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Also, at this point, we're blissfully unaware that Jack
Passengers.
has the boat hooked up to the truck and
Perfect.
is on his way to the house to start getting it out of mothballs, getting the wrap off of it, and getting it ready for the year. And we didn't put two and two together with this big storm cell
Yep.
and
Straight up.
Jack's boat. Now this little hole right here is kind of interesting. No, this is not a natural feature of the creek. This is a place where somebody's been digging for gold. Apparently they must have found something because they've dug a hole that went up to the hood on the Mistress. Now coming up here on the driver's side, you're going to see another hole that somebody's been digging for gold, and they must really have found something because this thing's big enough to swallow up the Jeep.
Okay.
And yeah, we're going to be creeping along on the top edge of it. And you can't really see
towards
the
me a
hole
little
from
bit.
Ria's camera angle. But if this thing caves off and the Jeep goes
Perfect.
over, she's definitely going to be on her side because this wall is about 6.5, maybe 7 foot tall to the bottom of the pit.
Once you get up on this rock, go a little ways, about a foot, and then go right. More. Go some coming.
We're staying back from the edge a little bit because we understand prospectors. Now they have a practice if they get on a pay layer
Perfect.
and it's going horizontal,
Driver.
they'll tunnel underneath the surface to stay on that pay streak, get as much gold as they can.
Drivers.
So we're expecting any time to drop into a hole that somebody's dug underneath the creek bed.
Okay. On your
Surprise.
passengers, you're gonna hit this big rock. You're gonna bump it. Perfect. Woo!
Now with this storm approaching, we're not spending any too much time trying to get over any specific obstacle. No, this is not some place you want to be if you get a massive rainstorm. Because I've seen this creek go from 0 to 4 or 5 feet deep in the matter of just a few minutes.
You gotta bump it.
Yeah, if we got a real toad strangling rain, this could be a really bad place to be. And on the bright side of all that, when we have a really big rainstorm like that and the creek goes into flood stage, it tends to replenish the gold in the area. Yeah, gold washes down from up above and washes into the creek, flows down the creek as placer gold. And that's when we get it.
It will. Okay, you gotta bump your passenger. Or you can crawl up it, actually. Crawl up it. Just a little bit this way. Okay, it's a bumper, just the front bumper, you're okay. Back up. Or, wait.
Now, have you ever had a little voice in your head that was telling you, this is probably a good time to start making your way towards the exit? Well, that voice was getting louder and louder. So the clouds were getting darker and darker, and we were starting to see a few little drops of rain here and there. And yes, we were still watching the radar. We knew what was coming. And sometimes you just gotta say, we'll do this another day.
I see. Back up. Okay. What we're gonna do? Nothing.
Tell me what I need to do.
Do you really want to go up and over this?
Now, when I think about it, the majority of the trails in South Dakota are in creek
Brittany, we'll come
bottoms.
this way.
Camp 5 Road, creek bottom. Calamity Canyon, creek bottom. Jake, creek bottom. Hal Johns, creek bottom. The lower
So you
part
gotta
of
be
Fruity
careful,
Pebbles,
this rock
creek
here is a
bottom.
pumpkin.
Captain Crunch, creek bottom. Got Milk, creek bottom.
You gotta turn drivers.
Now, we do have a few trails that are high and dry.
Good.
You can go up to the top of Fruity Pebbles in the rock garden.
Okay. Bob,
You can go to Bikini, or you can go to
keep
T-Back.
coming. Keep coming.
You better have a pretty built rig for any of
Keep coming.
those. Because all of them are level 8 and higher.
Okay. Give me a second.
Then we got more trash. And we got more of that metallic ting, ting, ting. But it's only going on when the Jeep's moving. No, it's not related to the engine. It's not related to the brakes.
You're good.
And it's intermittent. And every time we stop and look it
Careful, there's one in
over,
the middle for your pumpkin.
we don't see nothing. But as clapped out as this old BDS suspension is, I'll try real hard to muster up a surprise look.
Just go straight forward. Yeah, you can kind of come up, go straight, and then curve a little.
Now, for those of you that don't know, the translation from woman speak is slight passenger, hard driver, hard passenger, hard passenger, hard passenger.
Okay, start turning.
Brittany Williams, she is not. When it comes to spotting, she's still got some stuff to learn, but I love her dearly. My silly, sweet savage.
Yep, perfect.
Just about now, Jack must be home with his boat because it is starting to rain. Yeah, this storm's starting to intensify. The drops are getting bigger. They're getting a lot closer together. And it's a good time to make like shepherd and get the flock out of here. But oh man, do those sulfides and iron staining in that canyon wall look juicy. A lot of times those are associated with gold.
Fairburn on the Jeep, please. Yes. You're gonna have a bit of a drop, but that's okay. It's gonna get ugly up ahead, baby. More passengers. Keep hugging your drivers until you come down. You're good. Perfect. Go straight. I know, but there's a byway to your left. A byway. Hang on, let me look. Yeah. We were gonna come through this part, but because of the rain, we're getting rained out, so we're gonna take the byway. We need to get out of here. Brown sugar melts in the rain. Straight. This way. Bit of a bump on driver. Good.
Now y'all see that gold claim marker nailed to the tree on the right hand side of your screen? Now we don't always take those at face value. No, we'll get the information off of them and we'll actually call the BLM. Because we do have a few people in South Dakota that are notorious paper hangers. Yeah, they'll put up forged copies of federal mining claim markers to try to keep people off of them, when in fact, they're too cheap to pay the fees to get the gold claim. And in fact, that ground is open. So don't believe everything you read.
In their rain. Wow, look at this volcanic. way. Okay. Okay. Is this the road out or that one?
Now the rain was really starting to come down, and I was getting a little nervous because that metallic ting 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 had stopped just a little ways back. And there was no doubt about it, the radar was saying that the storm is here. And it was time for us to get the hell out of the creek bottom. Now I'm here to tell you that the last place you want to be is in this creek bottom
Gun it, baby.
when it starts to
If you
downpour.
can.
We got things going amiss on the Jeep. And folks, by the time we get to the top of the trail here and Rhea gets in the Jeep, let me tell you, the sky broke open. And we still had no idea what the metallic ting 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 was. But that's something for another video.